So, Ask Chad channel here.
Ask Chad whatever you want. All questions are welcome.
What got you into fitness?
I say being fat growing up and realizing I need to make a change. I needed to do something for myself, and that was the first step. I just didn't know what it was going to lead to. So to say how I got into fitness would be like, well, losing the weight and then not knowing what to do with it afterwards, not having a purpose, not having a reason to have any structure. It was losing the weight. Losing the weight led to, that was 2007. I was 19. And then I got into actual fitness. I got into it, a little bit in between there because I was into sports and stuff. But really till about June 2020, June 2010. So I'd say that got into it. I took it, I was like, I ain't got nothing else to do. Let me do this. And even during that time, I ventured off back to other things to try it. And it always came back. That was my last egg in my basket. I believe that God was trying to show me that this is what you need to be doing, or doing something with this, not only for yourself, but also to be an example to others, like they can do it too. Because the farther you go up, the more you can help people below you. And I don't mean below you in a negative sense, but a sense of like they're trying to get to that level of progress, or just trying to get their best physique. I don't think I've reached mine. And I mean, if you can make it easier for somebody else, you make it more easier and appealing for somebody to listen to you based off that. And that kind of pulls me into want to be into fitness even more because, everybody's human. I get cravings. I crave pizza. I crave sweets. I crave stuff just like everybody else, but it doesn't keep me from maintaining a fit and healthy lifestyle over the long term. One meal isn't going to make you fat, just like eating clean one time isn't going to make you healthy or isn't going to make you fit. It just doesn't work like that. So that mentality also makes me realize I'm human just like everybody else, but I can also share that with people. So it's not just a fitness thing for myself, it's a fitness thing to share that with other people, to motivate them, to entice them to reach their best level too. Their best level might be better than mine, but they'll never know unless they apply themselves. But when you've went through that experience and you've worked on yourself enough, like I say a lot of times, is before you open your mouth, when you walk into a room, before you say anything, they can tell that you're disciplined, patient, and consistent based off your physique. I think it demands power, it demands respect just before you even say a word. And I think having that type of power, that type of appeal, on top of being able to articulate it and say what you need to say, will get more people to hang on to you, and you can motivate people, you can persuade people to want to do better for themselves.
Who or what has inspired you over your fitness journey?
You said who or what?
Yeah.
Well, God gets the glory for it first and foremost, because I wouldn't be able to do it without God. There's days, like I said, I don't want to do this. There's days I'm like, I just want to eat this. Like, that's the hard part about it, is the eating. I mean, I think when you get a love for training and pushing yourself, it naturally wants to make you do more once you see the progress growing. But once you get into the actual eating and you're like, I don't want to diet down, or I don't want to stick to my diet, or I don't want to go to bed earlier than I need to, God fills in that void real quick and in a hurry. If you had to say second, it would be, I'd say three people in a sense of bodybuilding. It'd be Dorian Yates, Mike Mincer, and Frank Zane. Dorian and Mike Mincer, because the way they train, the level of discipline and the intensity they put into their training, and just keeping track of it. There's no way you can't take that and want to not be motivated to push even further, because you see what you could be capable of if you put it all into that one set to failure. And being able to dig deep and beat the log book and to see it applied in multiple generations, but also to at multiple levels. Then Frank Zane, being a similar body type as me, more ectomorphic, small joints, small waist, that type of thing, seeing the way he posed and the way he had a look that dominated over guys bigger than him, shows like, okay, there's some potential here for me. So I'd say those three guys, Dorian Yates, Mike Mincer, Frank Zane, had the biggest impact in my life. And if you could throw like two more, I'd say somebody like Bob Paris, because the way he posed, I think he's the best poser of all time. and then especially the most aesthetically pleasing bodybuilder of all time in my mind. And then I would say somebody like Francis Benefato because again, a smaller guy, not very big for open because that's all it had back then. But I say all three of them had the biggest impact in my life as far as from a human standpoint. But I think you can take and learn from people and apply it. But also too, you can see where it's taken them and you take and apply it like, okay, I wouldn't do this, but I can do that. And I think that's where I've had to work on it's been 16 years since I've been doing this seriously, off and on with little breaks in between pursuing other things, that now I can sit here and say, okay, I know what works for me compared to somebody else. Everything I do, there's a reason why I do it. Every exercise, the way I eat, the way I have to sleep, the things, all that, everything, there's a reason why. I don't do nothing for the sake of fluff or junk to fill a spot. It's never like that.
Are you trying to do something with fitness?
Is whatever God reveals to me, whether it be through physique competitions, fitness modeling, doing YouTube and being able to inspire others, motivating other people, showing them, being the example. And it's not just fitness. It's also too with just being, I'd say a whole Christian masculinity. Fitness is a huge part of that, but Christian masculinity as a whole, how you hold yourself, how you interact with women and people, when you lead, when you're not having an opportunity to lead, to prepare yourself to lead. Every situation is a way to grow. And I think fitness is a example for those other areas. I think if your fitness is not in check, you're not gonna be anything close to what you should be. I don't think anybody should be a leader, or especially as a Christian man, pastors and stuff. If you're overweight, you're out of shape, like you're not a leader. You have leader aspects, fine, but you are shortchanging yourself by settling for less than stellar for yourself because you can't have the discipline and the mindset overall, the humility to say, look, I need to make an adjustment to live an ordinary life. If God did not give you an ordinary life, basically because you're leading a flock of people for him, the Holy Spirit's working through you to do that, then you should cover all aspects of that. I think the example is overall, it's all or nothing. If you can't do it all, then don't do it at all. Maybe that's not popular and maybe that might tick a few people off, but I don't care. That's the way I view it. And I think Christian men should be that example, especially when you're in leadership.